Let's see. All right, cool. All right, guys, we're here with Malcolm Wilcox, and Malcolm he's like one of the first guys that I started working with. So, for those of you who don't know, I have a program called How to Find and Win Your Dream Girl, and it's a 28-day course where you just take, fucking day by day little bite-sized pieces out of the course and do these little exercises and stuff. And with Malcolm's group, I sort of like led daily exercises and whatnot, and kind of like handheld these guys through the course over the 28 days. And the reason why we have Malcolm on today is because he has come a long ass way from where he was when he started the course. Um, and I'll let you talk about your background, like reading No More Mr. Nice Guy, like some of the first things you did to be like, fuck, I want to change this shit. But the reason why we have Malcolm on today is because he was in one place and now he's like way the fuck over here. And this is actually my first success story interview because we've got some guys actually killing it right now with the course and stuff. But because of Malcolm's like situational difference between where he was at and where he's at now, it's so fucking cool. I just wanted to share it with everybody. So you want to kind of start and talk about your background stuff and kind of where you were at in the beginning.
Yeah, so I was in this relationship with this girl for about a year. Um, we knew each other for maybe about a year and a half, and at that time of me meeting her, she had just gotten out of a relationship, and um, that's when I came into the picture. Um, you know, doing the typical stuff that we shouldn't be doing. Being a nice guy, listen to her, all her problems, trying to be there for her and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and we did end up getting into a relationship, but it wasn't the relationship wasn't um how can I say it? Like I guess pretty much the polarity and the relationship it was way off. So I just started, researching stuff like, why is this relationship this way? Why am I being treated this way and all this stuff? And man, I pretty much just, went to war with myself trying to fix the relationship. But, eventually, I figured out that I had to fix myself first. And, that's where I just started continue the journey.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, so like your initial issues were like nice guy shit, basically. Like you were friends with the girl, and so she was like in emotional distress. So you like swooped in to be like the emotional support, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, hey, don't worry, girl, I'm here. You can cry on
Yeah.
my shoulder. She tells you all her problems and shit.
Yeah.
And then eventually they start to resent that. They're like like um like if you're always there to listen unconditionally, and it's like
Yeah.
you don't ever bite back and you never be like, really, you said that, like what the fuck,
Yeah.
like then they start to take advantage and walk all over you. I had the same thing happen with my ex too, by the way. I didn't meet her under those circumstances, but like it kind of turned into that because I never really called her out on a lot of stupid shit that she did.
Right.
Yeah, so it went bad, and so you ended up reading No More Mr. Nice Guy, right?
Yeah.
And then
Um,
yeah,
I started with No More Mr. Nice Guy. I can't remember how I found that book, but I read it a few times, and I actually joined the group on Facebook. I'm not sure if you know of that group.
yeah,
And from there on, that's when I found Corey Raines, his book. I read that a few times. Started listening to a lot of his YouTube videos. Then I found the 3% Man group, and
yeah,
I think that's why I actually found you.
yeah, yeah. I put a call out there looking for people to test my course because at the time I was going to charge money for it. So if you guys are watching this, if you don't already know this, if this is broadcasting in the group, it's also broadcasting to my personal page. So anybody that's watching this, if you don't know this already, there's a free video series out there that I was going to charge $1,000 for that is now free.
Yeah.
So I put a call out there to the 3% Man Facebook group, and I said, hey, who wants to come beta test this course, because I want to make it actionable. I want to make it worthwhile
Yeah.
for those people that would want to spend money. And so Malcolm was one of those that joined the group, and we had about 10 people. Well, we had a shit ton of people want to do it, and then 10 people signed up to do it. I think about 6 finished.
Right.
but this is the first success story video that I'm doing. We still have people part of that initial group that are
Right.
still in there taking action, and they're working to get there. The funny thing is, there's so many people, like, for example, okay, if you grow up with extreme depression and anxiety, you are miles behind everybody else that had normal upbringings, because you have to conquer that shit before you can do the rest of it, you know? So
Right.
everybody's doing it at their own pace. But yeah, so Malcolm and I met in the 3% man group. Um, so we talked about where you came from and the shitty relationship, and when you were in the course, you know, we said many times, like, man, you gotta be happy, like, you gotta get out of there, right?
Yeah.
And every time I said that and the other guy said it, I knew that it's easier said than done, right?
Right.
But talk about where you're at now, um, yeah, versus where you were.
Man, where I'm at now, man, it's crazy. I guess I never knew what it felt like to be in abundance. Pretty much, like, I'm not really worried about if one specific female takes me back or not, or I'm not really too concerned, or if she's dating other guys or not, or um, what else? Just like being available, just killing all my nice guy tendencies. Um, and to be honest, it's a lot less stressful. Because before, with that relationship, man, it was emotionally draining and physically draining. Because going through all that stuff, it affects you. It affects your mental.
Oh yeah.
Affects your mental health a lot.
Yeah, when you have a partner that you're like supposed to even potentially spend your life together, and that shit's in shambles, you feel like your whole life is in shambles sometimes, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And so for those of y'all watching, if you're not part of the group here, so for those of you watching to the broadcast, like my personal page and stuff, you know, like you might hear something us say like, oh, you know, I'm not really too concerned about if X chick or Y chick texts me back and stuff. You have to understand, for somebody, there's a lot of us, you know, in the conventional men's dating advice realm that had problems of like wanting to like be connected so much where we deal with too much shit,
Right.
you know. And so for like, especially like in your case, like having read no more Mr. Hey, I'm getting some feedback. Is that your phone?
I
I
don't
can't
think
tell if
so.
that's mine or not. I don't know. So anyway, um man, I might have to switch my computer audio. so anyway, yeah, it's like annoying the shit out of me. Let me see if this will work. Let's see. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
You can? Okay, cool. All right. So, so in this case, like, yeah, that's what it takes. If you want to have results with women, sometimes you just have to back off a little bit. And,
Right.
and for every girl that would complain, it's like, oh, Malcolm's dating like too many girls at one time. He doesn't care to text any one of them back. It's like no, because if you've ever had that guy hit you up where they text you too many times in a row, you wish they had something else to do, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So you've come all this way. So call out some thing, like, if you don't mind, like, what parts of the course do you feel like, or anything that you've learned just by being in the WhatsApp group or being a part of this community, like share some of like the key nuggets that like turned on light bulbs for you.
For me, I would say, I know that you talk about this a lot. Adding value to a woman's day. I know that helps a lot. Like, I know I'm really good at making people laugh. So, if I'm trying to get to know a girl or I want to talk to her or whatever, I try to incorporate that as much as I can, in the conversation. And, instead of me trying to come up with like a silly joke or say something, just I be authentic with myself, and, I say what I think is funny. And 9 times out of 10, I get positive feedback with that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's switching from like for everybody watching, it's like, so adding to a value to a girl's day, it's like switching from like a taking mindset. So think about it, if you're a dude in a grocery store, you see a hot girl, most guys want to walk up and feel good because they're talking to her. They want to get her to smile and then
Yeah.
feel good because they're getting attention from a hot girl. So it's like this taking mindset.
Right.
But instead, like, if you first be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to create the good feeling to begin with and then spill that onto the girl.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden your fucking results change because you're giving instead of taking.
Right.
Huge,
And
right?
yeah, and on this topic, I guess I've been kind of doing this. Been kind of doing this. Without me thinking. I just like some women at my job, you know, they'll just walk past me, speak to them and all that stuff. Or, they come to my department and they need something, I just talk to them a little bit, make them laugh. I'll give you one particular example. There was a nurse that came to my department and she needed to pick up some supplies for her department. And I noticed she had a tattoo. And I was like, oh man, I like your tattoo. She lifted it up. She showed me, I asked her where she got it from, who is the artist and all that stuff. And I showed her my tattoo. And out of the blue, she was like, oh, my name is such and such. Nice to meet you. I didn't ask for her name or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Huge indicator of interest, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And just by finding little reasons, feeling entitled enough to find a reason to talk to her. And it's cool with tattoos. It's like it's a good excuse to even maybe like touch them slightly,
Yeah.
potentially, depending on how everything is, and
Yeah.
and just feeling entitled enough to start that conversation or to even have a conversation regarding like revealing skin and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So adding value to a girl's day. What any other light bulbs?
What else? I would say stand on your purpose.
Okay.
I know I struggle with that a lot. Because before, I would always put the woman before myself. I put my goals and my values beneath them, and I know that showed a lot. Because I just like say for instance, I was in school when I was with my ex. Sometimes I wouldn't study because I wanted to do things with her. If she was in a bad mood, I wouldn't study. I would try to put all my focus on her. Like make her feel better. Or if she was depressed, I'll take her out somewhere, and that's time I could be studying, and I just miss the opportunity.
Which you might find yourself in those shoes again, where it's like you have to be an emotional support for the woman you're with, but it'll be on your terms, right? So like in
Right.
your case, she had already like sucked up the power vacuum, sitting at the steering wheel, and it's like now you live life on your own terms. If you have a partner, she's going to be supportive of your mission, and it might
Right.
even be worth at that point, being that shoulder to cry on, being the guy to take her out, because she's fucking like my girl, man. She knows my mission. She support. You see her in my videos all the time, or in
Right.
there in my live feed all the time, in the background and stuff, and like I pour energy into her because she
Right.
pours energy into my mission too, and into me, and it's fucking mutually beneficial,
Right.
Yeah, but it's starting off on the right foot.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so for those of you guys watching, so Malcolm's situation wasn't so easy, because yeah, he was friends with this girl in the beginning, and he did start off on the wrong foot because he didn't know any better, just like none of the fucking rest of us did. Like we didn't know what to do in the beginning, and so now you tell me what you're comfortable with revealing, but you want to kind of reveal some of like the drama of like ending the relationship and kind of what happened with some of the rest of the girls after that, or
Yeah. I know when I was writing down the qualities that I want in a woman, from your course, like my top 5, she didn't meet any of them. Maybe one was, like a hot chick, but I want more than looks, and the rest of them, like they really didn't, hit any of my targets. And I started to realize, like long term, that this relationship it wouldn't have lasted long because I just felt like I was growing, and I really wasn't seeing any growth from her. Like as far as life goals, like being stable in different areas of life, and
yeah.
that's when I just decided I had to end it.
Yeah. So okay, so you end it, right? And then and you guys live together, or you
Yeah.
did, right? She's out now, right?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, yeah, just checking. So there was a period of time where he didn't know, like she was like it was her name on the place,
but he kind of, like was better off financially and stuff like that. And he had the ability to take it over. But then it's like, if he did, he was risking like her, like trying to stick around. And there was
Yeah.
some time period where she fucking tried to stick around.
Yeah.
And she also, like, she hit up some other girl that he was seeing to try to like
Yeah.
sabotage that. Right.
Yeah, man, that was, geez, that was horrible.
Yeah. And so when you're in a bad relationship, they don't mean any of your fucking qualities, but you have the emotional connection. You
Right.
don't want to hurt their feelings. You live together. You share finances. You're scared that she's going to, like, ruin your reputation and all this kind of stuff. It's
Right.
hard to make the split. And that's why I think it's so fucking cool. Like where Malcolm's at now, because he made that choice, right? And now
Right.
he's solo. He has the ability to go off and do whatever it is to get the top 5 qualities,
Right.
and so just the other day you dropped a message in the group, in the WhatsApp group. You're like, hey guys, what's up? Haven't posted in a while. Got X, Y, and Z going on. So what did you tell the group when you dropped that message?
Just giving an update on my dating life right now, that I have, like 5 different women that I'm been talking to or seeing at the time. um, when was it? This past Saturday I went on a date. And this past Sunday I was with an ex, like my first ever girlfriend, and me and her, we semi hooked up. Got a date tonight, and got a date this coming up Saturday and Sunday with 2 different women.
Right? Yeah. And guys, like, that's the way to fucking do it. You set on, like, so now that you're in this situation, you've got multiple dates set up. Do you
Right.
even walk into a date like, oh shit, I hope this goes well? Or you're kind of like, well, I got some other stuff going on too. So like you're more able to be relaxed, right?
Yeah, I am, because if I going out with all these different women, it's just helping me become more relaxed, more like more in tune with the date. I'm able to show more confidence now. Like, I notice little things about myself, like before, like if I go on a date, I'll always like lean up towards the women. And now I just kind of sit back, keep my legs open, and just have a good time. I don't really worry about the outcome anymore.
Yeah.
If they like me, they do. If they don't, just talk to somebody else.
That's it. And what's funny is, like, so where he's at right now, guys, like, once you get in that space, everything snowballs. Like let's say, for example, you just keep this going. Let's say for whatever reason you don't meet, the one in anytime soon, right? You just keep the shit going, and it becomes easier and easier and easier to talk to new girls and set up more dates. And I'm not saying this is the necessarily like eternal ideal or anything, but it's true. Like, you get to a point where, like, you're talking about 5 girls, and it's really hard to manage and actually end up on dates with much more than that, like in a given week, or 2 weeks even, because you just can't fucking manage it all, right? You get a job and a purpose and hobbies and stuff. And so you get to this place where it's like any new girl that wants to interact with you, it's just kind of like, all right, you want to come over? And I'm not saying that that's like, the highest consciousness behavior per se, but it is true. I mean, like, you get into, that's the level of abundance you get into. And when you get into that space, you become so non-needy in terms of what you're asking for from women.
Right.
And if you've mastered, providing the charisma and adding value to their day and stuff, it's like, from that space, like where Malcolm's on the cusp of, it's like you can literally choose any girl that you want that interacts with you. I mean, yeah, you can't just pick anybody, but like, out of all the girls that are interested in you,
Right.
which will be a lot,
Yeah.
the world is your oyster,
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so you kind of called out some things from the course that were game changers for you. Would you see yourself in this position had you not taken the course?
No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess, like I said, I read No More Mr. Nice Guy, and I read Carl Wayne's book. But when I took your course, I felt like you explained a lot more stuff in detail. Like, just by adding value to a woman's day. Being conscious of situations, and I started implementing that in my dating life, and I saw the change.
And guys, to fill that in, So a lot of you guys know, like, Corey Wayne's book is free, right? Like, no, you can go buy No More Mr. Nice Guy for $15 or whatever, right? You can learn a lot of this shit. But a lot of the stuff that I brought to the table in the course is, for example, a lot of pickup artist advice that I learned from Owen Cook and Jeff Allen just by watching their videos and stuff. What's funny is that you can't even find those videos on YouTube anymore. I don't know if it's due to a lawsuit or due to just the fact that they've restructured their company and stuff. You really can't find a lot of those pickup artist advice videos anymore. And so that stuff, is fused with Corey Wayne shit and other, like, stuff from David Data, stuff from, like, Robert Glover. And it's all in there in the course. And that's free, so what would you say to a guy that, is kind of open, like, willing to listen to, like, who's open-minded, but hasn't taken the course yet? Like, say, for example, we've got almost 200 people in our Facebook group. I know not everybody's taking the course. What would you say to those people, given the fact that it's free?
I would tell them to definitely take the course. If you're looking for a change in your life, or, if you're looking to fill in some gaps of, like fill in some gaps of, why you're doing this or why you're doing that, or there's certain areas that you want to change in your life, then I would, definitely recommend it.
Yeah. If you want to go on, if you want to be talking to 5 different girls, multiple dates on the weekend, out of a bad relationship, big pimping in Florida, and Malcolm's put his money where his mouth is too, guys. Like, we have a retreat next month. And so even though the course is free, actually, we've done some coaching calls together. Malcolm's scheduled some coaching calls together, but he's also showing up to the event next month. You know what I mean? So it's like, despite the fact that the course is free, like, there's real value that we have in this community. And I feel like Malcolm is a great example of that. And man, what else do you want to say to the guys? Everybody in the group.
In the group?
Or just anybody in general?
I would tell them that, well, let me just give a little background of my story. So I feel like it'll help some people out.
Yeah.
So growing up, I was raised by a single mom. I was the oldest of 3. So she looked to me for the most part, helping out financially or just anything else, like cooking and cleaning up for my little brother and sister and all that stuff. Now that I'm older, I realized that, my mom was really dependent on me, like, emotionally and all that stuff. And, I brought that into my dating life, and I didn't realize that when I was younger. Because, I dated some pretty hot girls, but none of the relationships ever lasted. Even with my 2 serious relationships, they lasted for maybe about a year or so, but I got treated like shit, so, I had to end it. What else? Yeah, like I was saying, with me bringing all that stuff into my relationships, I don't know, man. I kind of went on a personal vendetta with myself, and I wanted to make that change. When I first started out, before I read No More Mr. Nice Guy and all that stuff, I hired maybe like a coach or 2, and they gave me some advice, but it wasn't something that would stick with long term, or help out in relationships long term. It was just in that moment type of stuff. And I started to realize that, and I wanted something that would stick. And that's when I started that journey, and that's when I found all those books, and I found your course, in the WhatsApp group, and taking coaching calls with you. It's really helped. It really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff that I didn't want to believe. Because to be honest, man, I always thought that dating multiple women would make me a player. I guess that's just me being a nice guy. But what I failed to realize was that women, they date multiple guys. I kind of had the mindset that if we're dating, we're in a relationship, and that shit that was the wrong mindset to have.
Because even if a girl isn't wanting to talk to multiple guys at once,
Yeah.
they're talking to her, and she knows in the back of her mind which one she has options with, and she's got to sift through it all and figure out which is the guy that's going to be the best one,
Right.
So they do it not even meaning to,
Right. And man, I just wanted to change on my bad habits, like me being needy, me being so available, me not having any boundaries, or just me being a doormat. And to be honest, a lot of these women that I dated, I just went by the looks and a nice body. So like if a girl had a nice body and a pretty face, that's what I go after. Like I really didn't have any underlying values or things that I wanted in women. Like I really didn't look at all that stuff until I started, digging deep and taking your course and doing coaching calls with you and all that stuff. So that would be my thing to the guys out there. Like, if you're trying to find your dream girl, then take Bainey's course, because it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, and it puts you in the driver's seat, right? Because now you can be choosy. You know, because there's a lot of hot girls out there, and everybody else thinks they're hot too. But it's like, all right, what else is going on underneath all that? What else is in that trunk?
Exactly.
But the other thing I would say though is like, because again, it's going to my personal page. Who knows, like what kind of potential like ladies would be watching this that don't even know anything about, like the men's groups that we're in and stuff like that. It's like, listen, like at any time, Malcolm could say, you know what, I fucking like this girl the best. I'm gonna choose her. I'm gonna cut off all this other shit that I got going, and I'm gonna jump into something with this girl because he's in the driver's seat. So it's like at any time, right? Like any of these girls that let's say any of these 5 girls, right? If you wanted to, if you thought one of them adds up to what you're looking for, you could cut them all off, right?
Right.
And that's where, most guys can't do that. And women can sense that too. Women can sense your choices, like if you have the choice or not,
Yeah. And one thing I realized I stopped doing is stop chasing. Because I don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes people do it without even noticing. Like one of the guys in the group the other day, real cool guy's got a lot of cool shit going on. He's dating multiple women and stuff, but he started, like the tide turned a little bit, and he started doing more effort, and then she's backing off. And this happens without even realizing it. And the second you start to chase a girl, you're in for some trouble.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, like most guys that come to 3% Man, that come to our group, are guys that really just want like one girl. They want to get married sometime. They want to like devote themselves to her, to the family. They want to have like a good relationship. Right. But the problem is, it's just like the path to success. It's not that straight path upwards, right? It's like the fucking jaggedy.
It is, man. I know.
Yeah. Good shit, man. Any closing words or anything like that?
Any closing words? Yeah, so it's a book I'm reading. David Goggins, You Can't Hurt Me. I don't know if you heard it or not.
Yeah.
But the reason why I bring this book up is because he talks about, if there's something that you want in life or a goal that you're trying to accomplish, like if you hit a roadblock or something, that keep going. And that incorporates with my dating life, because, growing up as a teenager and in my mid-20s, early 30s, my dating life sucked. Like it really sucked.
And now?
Yeah, man. Like now it's just, I don't know. It's like I took the blue pill in the Matrix.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, man. It helped clear up a lot of my nice guy issues. It's something that I really wanted to change. And just start putting in the work. So I would say, if you put in the work, then you get the results.
100%. Yeah, and that's what it is. So I'm gonna touch on that and then close it out. Yeah. So it's like we were talking about earlier. Like, so women, you're a hot girl. You're like a fucking lighthouse. Like all the attention comes to you. You can see it from far away. You're like, damn, and you want to go talk to her. And so women have this influx of attention. Well, if you're a guy, It's your job to be the fucking, like the radio. You're broadcasting out your interest in multiple directions, and you're seeing what sticks. You're seeing which girls are receptive to you. And it's only by your elbow grease, only by your fucking elbow grease will you actually get the same results as like a hot chick. So a hot chick has her multitude of choice. You know, as a man, if you want to have that level of choice, it's fucking elbow grease. Like, that's all it is. If you, like, there's guys out there that like want to, like, really good looking guys that want to like rest on their laurels and just be like the guy that like the attention comes to. And it's like, that's what fucking girls do. That's what fucking girls do. You know, we elbow grease this shit. And you can see how in Malcolm's life, you know, that's produced a huge difference. So anyway, man, I'm glad that you came on, because this is fun. This is fun for me, man. It's like I get to share, you know, like the fruits of what we put together and all the discussion we have in the group and et cetera. And this is really cool, man. So I'm excited to see, you know, if you're heading for a relationship at some point, like what kind of girl you'll end up with. Or if not, if you ride the eternal bachelor train, some picture next to Dan Blazarian somewhere. You know,
I think I'm gonna ride that train for a while.
Yep. There's no rush, you know, and then if you meet the one, you'll be like, cool, I found her, you know?
Right.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, thanks a bunch, and I'll see you in the group, man.
All righty. Take care.
All right. Take care.
All right.